Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're going to be taking a look at the Legend stage from Straight Woman Fighter Season 2, the ace battle between KYMA versus Amy. Now, I've already seen both of them in their respective individual rounds of this battle, but I hadn't seen them dance one right after the other, so I wasn't able to take a proper guess of who I think would have taken the battle, but now I have the full chance to do that, and this is a full cam uncut, so I'm not going to have any weird cuts take place here. Shout out to Cannot Even for all the footage of the uncuts that I've been able to react to, most of them. I wouldn't be able to see a more fuller picture of what I'm looking at without you, so thank you. Let's go ahead and let's take a look.
Ready? Let's go, fight!
Smart usage of not being stable, being able to utilize that to your advantage here.
5, 4, 3, 2,
nice.
Switch, baby, KYMA, let's go.
All right, KYMA. Okay. Woo! That was nice. Yeah, okay. I'm glad I get to see these one right after the other. That's super fun. All right, let's take a look here. So I'm going to start with Amy Park, and then I learned it's KYMA, right? That's how Daniel pronounced it, so I'm going to try to pronounce it KYMA moving forward. But this is Amy we're going to watch first. How she set this up. Now, I do remember I did see her battle with Baby Sleek, and I think this was a significantly better set from her here than whenever she battled Baby Sleek. But I will say, though, that I really enjoy, I love her movement quality, her usage of her torso is really nice. I love that little threading moment. That was really cool. Yeah. With the kicks was really fun. A little bit of a rock. Notice she's just a little bit unstable here, so just take a look here. When you look, yeah, so that right there. So the reason why I was able to catch that is that whenever she goes, normally when you do that kind of rock back, it got cut off, and she ended up hitting on a count that didn't exist. You know, so 3 and 4, whenever you just rock in the pocket of a hip hop beat, they don't go by counts. You know, really they hit in the 1s and the 3s, you know, and the 2s and the 4s. But whenever you're hitting, she just prematurely hit that secondary back rock, and that's how I was able to catch that, because of her feet. But very minor, very subtle, and I love that though. Yeah. I love that triple. That's super fun. Bringing it around. So she's doing a great job. Of using what she has. Love the kicks here. Take note, here's what's happening. So she's starting to rock onto her pinky here and creating a slight sickle of her foot, and what's going to end up happening is she's going to start heel toeing to transition it this way and create a different groove out of it. That's because she's losing her balance. That's just kind of what you do. It's a really safe way to kind of play that off. So I really love that choice. Yeah, do you notice that? And then she integrated her foot. That was a super smart choice from her, and I love that. I will say, beginning here at this point, it's starting to look a bit like she's starting to run out of things that she could entertain or try to pursue. So she's traveling around, which I really like, but her transitions are starting to become more simplistic. So that's my big note for this. And with the 2 taps and the heel digs and all of that here, the slide down, which I really enjoyed. I enjoyed her set. It was strong. Now KYMA, she ended up also doing a kick as well. She did some jabs, little bit, drop down. Honestly, this is not a super strong start from KYMA, but she really brings it back near the end. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So she even integrates a little bit of light feet. She did a slight tone wop there, which was a nice. I'm glad that they're exploring different risks. I love the jabs that she's doing there too. Melting through, doing more of a chicken head, more of an aggressive posture with her torso. I will say, starting at this point when she went into that won't, I think is where it really started to pop off well for her. That boom, fight, like that was sick. And then she begins to, she's really heavily using this right leg here to kind of create this vibration aesthetic about what she's doing. Do I feel it's like super controlled? I think it's more reactionary. Like her body is reacting to her usage of her head, and then her, not head, knee. That's a knee, everyone. Her knee, really utilizing that, as well as, I believe it looks like her chest. I think she's doing here too. Yeah, so she's using her knee as well as the direction of where her head is going, I think is also helpful here. And as she comes back, but also note that her arm positions aren't as clear as they could be. It looks like they're just kind of there. And sometimes there's a time and place for that. But whenever you set up your, you have to think about what kind of techniques or what kind of textures you're wanting to integrate, and then seeing what kind of angles or what kind of things normally pass within that texture wheelhouse. So here, normally when we deal with vibrations, it's really helpful when you're dealing with a super sporadic texture. You want to have some sense of form with it. And so because she's coming out of that overly texturized section, but it's very unclear where her angles are in her upper body, that's probably why it takes it just a little bit away from it. But it doesn't discredit the risk that she took. And I really like her dynamics. And I love this here. And I love that nothing, and then she adds a little head in there. Like, that was a great choice. She's also not really like super, like she battled a little bit to Amy, but she is focusing a lot more on the judges, and then she just grooves it out with just a different like horizontal pocket, which is very similar to what we saw Bada do a couple videos ago. Yeah, and she is hitting this kind of angle here a lot. Yeah, so like her reset is more of this kind of angle here, which can help for Scarecrow, can help whenever you're doing more of a dangled, lanky kind of groove, but she's taking different approaches. But honestly, her ending was definitely what really helped her set a lot. Now, if I were to pick out of the two, my vote would have gone to Amy, because hers was cohesive and she had a really great strong start. Her pocket was really nice. She did explore a lot of avenues, and a lot of, even though I could tell that some instances she was losing her balance, she did a phenomenal job of integrating a new groove or a new way to get out of that movement. Like, things made sense. Now, I would say near the tail end for Amy, and I really wish that she pushed through. I really wish that there was still that kind of a little complexity of little pockets of interrupted movement where you have like moments. I could say moments than movement. I wish she had a tad bit more of that near the tail end of her set, but I think she did enough in comparison to KYMA. KYMA, she had, I think her beginning, wasn't as cohesive to the song. It kind of, because remember, whenever you go second, you have to match the energy of what the first opponent set, unless when you choose to make a different energy choice, it has to be justifiable. Do I think that that's the case that KYMA did? I don't think she quite met Amy's level, but she got there eventually. You know what I'm saying? But I think that could have worked against her through her set, because if from the get-go you're leading with it's not really matching that energy that's already been set, it kind of leads to a potentially more critical viewpoint of it, or you're not able to get into it in the same way as how it was built before. Amy did a good job of setting the expectation from the forefront, not just near the tail end. And that's what KYMA did. In KYMA, there was this, especially this part right here, or that boom, boom, that extra. Those were wonderful. And I think those are what she needed to really help with her set. But do I think those two things were quite enough for what she was against or how she set up her set? I personally don't believe so. But remember, it's just my personal feedback. educated guesses, things like that. And also, I'm assuming this is happening before eliminations, K-pop challenge, mega crew challenge, dance rank mission. That's where I feel like this took place. So there's a lot of newness to a lot of these grooves and pockets. So there's a chance that a lot of what she's bringing to the table is very new or different, whereas Amy may have been bringing a more predictable pocket. We don't really know. And that's okay, because I love the show and I love watching the battles and performances, and this has just been awesome, just getting to see all of these dancers. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've really enjoyed watching this, I do have this video as well as all the other Street Woman Fighter videos available on Patreon. If you're on Patreon, thank you for the support. If you're not quite yet on Patreon, that is okay. You're not really missing out on a ton unless you really want early access to things ad-free, or if you want recommendations, if you want to recommend things to me, that's a really great avenue to pursue, because I do get a lot of recommendations and I want to, and it's really difficult for me to get to all of them. So that has been a really good avenue filter for people to go to if they really want me to take a look at something that helps me to see that and be able to healthily be able to pursue those recommendations as well. So, but it's okay if you don't decide to do that, and if you just want to hang out on YouTube, that's totally fine too, and I just love the support nonetheless. So thank you again for watching, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.